Alright, we are back. Let's make sure the sound is working. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. There we go. Sound is working. And we are moving. We got through Hissing Waste. I don't know how, but we did it. Let's see, the presence of the Inquisition forces in the College of Magi provoked angry response from Duke Sandral. I'm told this led to a standoff where the Duke's forces threatened to attack, and it was our agent at the college who talked the man down. Corbin displayed level head and sound judgment, both things. Hey Steph, let's see here. Where was I? I don't remember. I don't care. We're moving on. Oh no. It's not the fun war table. It's time to go do the game in Orlais. Let's see. Where did I put you? Tethris, are you still skipping out on meetings? You have a copy of it already, showed once in a while. Not that I mind, I'm happy enough to trade with you. You were worth this piece of parchment for 1,000 crown debt. My name is Varric Tethris, and I'm Bronto-licking backstabber who steals customers. Alright. Nice. How's the invitation?
Any news on why Corypheus is sending people to explore elven ruins, of all things?
No, I suspect he keeps the reason secret, even from his inner circle.
Well, I mean, they pretty much are.
Let us begin.
Yeah.
Inquisitor.
See you in 4 hours. Wait, I can still use you to... Yeah. Let you go here.
To work?
Yeah. Wait, no. It's over here? Okay. It's been a few days since I've played, so I'm just trying to remember everything, what I was doing. So did that. Well, let's see, I'm supposed to be level 12 to 15. I am level 27. I'm max level. So it's time to start, playing the game.
You have to reach the Empress before Corypheus. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. The real question is, where is our enemy hiding? At the urging of Grand Duchess Florian, the Empress is holding a ball. Absolutely everyone will be there. During the festivities, Celine will be meeting for peace talks with the usurper Duke Gaspard and Ambassador Briala.
The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
What do we know about Duke Gaspard?
The man who would have been Emperor. He's Celine's cousin, and was first in line to inherit the throne when Emperor Florian died. Celine outmaneuvered him. She won over the Council of Heralds, who hold authority over title disputes. She became Empress, and he a general in the Imperial Army. He's well loved by the troops. He's also a Chevalier. Most of their number sided with him when he turned on the Empress.
Aren't the Chevaliers part of the army? Why would they follow the Duke?
Most Chevaliers are sworn to serve the crown, but that does not give them faith in the person wearing it. The Empress has tried to improve relations with Ferelden and Navarra. The Chevaliers see her as anti-military. They believe Gaspard could lead the Empire back to the glory of Dracon's expansion years.
Who is this Ambassador Briala?
An ambassador in name only. She has organized the elves of Halam Sharal into an underground army. The Empress invited her to the peace talks in a bid to gain the elves' alliance in the war. That would be scandal enough, without the rumor that Briala is a jilted lover of Celine's. A personal grudge and a network of saboteurs at her command. Promising lead.
Wait. The elven leader is a jilted lover of the Empress.
It's not widely known.
Okay, it's one.
Just a
says
rumor
something there.
whispered among the palace servants a few years ago. If it's true and were to get out, the Empress and an elf. The scandal could destroy Celine's court. Even if a lie, Briella could use it to blackmail the Empress. She has some connection to the throne.
Tell me everything we know about the Empress.
Empress Celine is a renowned diplomat.
I'm excited to do this because
She
afterwards
works
I'm going to
tirelessly
judge a
secure peace
box.
for the Empire. Unfortunately, many
And the
Orlesians
box
view
will
peace
be
as
guilty
complacency. She has yet
of
to name
crimes
an
against
heir, leaving the
Orlais.
future of the Empire in doubt if anything happens to her. Especially when the next in line is her cousin Gaspard, who's made few friends on the Council of Heralds.
Celine is surrounded at all times by countless guards, courtiers, servants, and vassals. What better place for an assassin to hide than the Empress's own household?
How can Gaspard still be next in line while he wages war against his Empress?
The title Grand Duke indicates that he was a prince before the Empress took the throne.
Do we need to go to the peace talks? The Empress must have personal guards. We could just warn her she's in danger.
We've made the attempt, but...
It seems that our messages never reached her. Someone intercepted them.
It's better that
Excuse
we
me.
don't leave this to chance. If Orlais falls to Corypheus, no land is safe.
We shouldn't waste any time. Let's go to the Winter Palace.
To the palace and the politics. I really should take Sarah, but I hate Sarah so much, so I'm not going to. I'm going to take... I'm going to take a different group this time. I'm going to take you. No, I'm going to take you. And you. And you. Now, I'm going to take Varric. Varric's all good now. See, he's good, she's good, she's good. He's good. His quest is still lingering. He's good. She's still lingering. And his quest is still lingering. He's a dick. That's why I barely use him. Alright, we'll use you guys. Because politics will be fun. And Varric needs to be there to write about it. Can't go places without your best dwarf friend. Yeah, Orlais is like the snooty ha 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 français type of stereotype. They went full stereotype France.
The political situation in Halam Shiral hangs by a thread. The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand Duke is only too happy to have us at the ball as his guests, so our invitation comes from him. Whether we act as his allies or upset the balance of power, he gains an opportunity, if not a clear advantage.
Inquisitor Trevelyan, we meet at last. I've heard so much about you. The rumors coming out of the Western Approach say you battled an army of demons. Imagine what the Inquisition could accomplish with the full support of the rightful Emperor of Orlais.
Which one was the rightful one again? I keep getting them confused.
If we keep watch, he may appear, probably by the brandy. I am not a man who forgets his friends, Inquisitor. You help me, I'll help you. Prepared to shock the Assembly by appearing as the guest of a hateful usurper, my lord? They will be telling stories of this into the next age.
I can't imagine that crowd has seen anything better than us in their entire lives.
I knew we would get along famously, Inquisitor. As a friend, perhaps there is a matter you could undertake this evening. This elven woman, Briella, I suspect that she intends to disrupt the negotiations. My people have found these ambassadors all over the fortifications. Sabotage seems the least of their crimes.
Tell me there's more to your suspicion than the elves were acting dodgy.
That Ambassador Briala used to be a servant of Celine's. That is, until my cousin had her arrested for crimes against the Empire to cover up a political mistake. If anyone in this room wishes Celine harm, Inquisitor, it's that elf. She certainly has reason. Be as discreet as possible. I detest the game, but if we do not play it well, our enemies will make us look like villains. We're keeping the court waiting, Inquisitor. Shall we?
Is that the Inquisitor?
What? A marcher? Don't be absurd.
One of the Trevellians, I've heard.
Let's see, the Legion Court is pleased to see a noble, even a marcher, leading the Inquisition. You're off to a good start. So basically your background will decide your start in Orlais. And because I'm a noble, they're like, yeah, he doesn't suck. If I was a Qunari, I'd have like 0. They'd be like, oh, you're terrible. I need to speak with
Pardon me,
you.
my lord. You haven't seen a ring lying around, have you? It was a gift from the Countess Montbéliard, enchanted by the Fomari. I cannot go into the ball without it.
Is this ring particularly valuable?
Its worth in coin is not as important as its social value. It was a gift from a member of the Council of Heralds. If she finds out I lost it, she will never forgive me. Not even if I live to be 1,000 years old.
What's your game? Are you trying to convince the Comtesse that you treasure her gift? Or just gain importance by getting the Inquisitor to run a menial errand for you?
I just gained court approval, which usually represents the finesse entertaining people or keeping up appearances. The higher the court approval, the better. We'll get to 100.
Assure you, the ring truly is lost, and I must find it or risk terrible repercussions. Should you happen upon it, I beg you, let me know. Maker, what am I going to do if I cannot find my ring?
Is this the ring you were looking for?
You are a treasure! I cannot believe you found it! You have saved me a lifetime of mortification. How can I thank you enough?
I will get 100 court approval, and then I will stop caring.
A martyr? The Maker has an odd sense of
I remember stuff makes it go down as well. Oh yeah, Vivienne was my first mage I used because I thought she was the best, and then I accidentally made her the next divine, which I didn't mean to do, and I was like, oh, you're kind of a trash person. The best divine is if you don't harden Liliana. If you harden Liliana, she's kind of a terrible human being because she doesn't care about anything. Cassandra's a good divine, but she's kind of my lover, so that's awkward. Yeah. Vivienne's just the worst. Besides Solus. Solus is the worst.
There was any doubt of the fate by Andraste.
What is Lady Pentecost wearing?
This is what you get for having hollow statues not exist. Yes. Yes, he's not my favorite. He was never my favorite person even before that. Yeah, but he's dead. Anders is lying dead in a sewer somewhere, I imagine. No proper funeral.
Any word from the front lines?
My spies said the bodies were beyond counting.
Surely the Empress will put an end to the war tonight.
Pray, my
Yeah,
friend.
Varric's like, screw that
If the
turd.
Maker does not hear us now, just pray.
Kick him in the jewels. Let's see, that's this. I always support the Empress. Otherwise I can't judge a box, and I must judge a box. Gaspard's just a warlord.
Are all the Delonces here?
Maker, I hope not.
But yeah, I've never not supported Celine. What we got here? Let's see. I haven't done this part in since the third time I played this game, and that's been a long time. Yeah, I've never supported Gaspard. I always thought of him just as a warlord and kind of a dick. And I never supported an elf in any game ever. I don't like elves. Even though my first character in Dragon Age Origins was a city elf, and I really, 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 really like that backstory. I really enjoyed the city elf alienage backstory in Origins. Like, it's probably my second favorite origin story behind the human noble.
We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will.
And I like the
ruin us
dwarven
all.
noble too. The dwarven noble's really good because it gets into dwarven politics, and I'm one of those crazy people that like the dwarven stuff and the deep roads and all that. I don't like the Fade, but I like the deep roads and I like all the dwarf stuff. So I'm a fan of that. Jake says I'm crazy, but I'm not. All the time. I think that's all I need to do here.
Is it true the Inquisitor was headed out?
Yeah, literally Elf Mage is like, how do I make everyone in the game dislike me from the very beginning? If you don't want to be liked, that's the way to play the game. I've done all the origin stories. I hated Scandal Secrets. We will not be gathering all those. Forget that noise. But yeah, I didn't like the Duster Dwarf, the poor dwarf. I thought that was kind of a dumb story. I really like the dwarf noble house. I actually completed one of those. The elven alienage I really, really liked because the guy that betrays you, I can't ever think of his name, but he's voiced by what's his name? The clown from it, Pennywise, the original.
We
Oh
can
my
only
goodness!
hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will ruin
What
us
is his
all.
name? Oh, I see all of my friends just slapping their head. Tim Curry, yes. The fact I couldn't think of Tim Curry's name shows I should probably have another drink here. Oh my goodness. But yeah, Earl Howe, that's it. Earl Howe's men come in when you're the elf alienage story, and you're getting married, and they have the right of first betting. So the guards come in and take your wife and basically SA her or R-word her, and she doesn't survive. So you go on so the whole game basically you're like massive revenge rampage mode. And it kind of I'm like, that's a really good story, because at the end you get to fight Earl Howe, obviously, and it's like, I am going to murder your face for what you did to my bride on our wedding night. I have seen him in Command & Conquer Red Alert. Yes, I used to play those games a lot.
Inquisitor, a moment, if you please. I'm sure you know how to handle most nobility.
Oh yeah, no, it's like really upsetting.
It is no simple matter
like,
of
I'm surprised they let him put that in a
Every
video game,
word,
that type of story.
every
It's like,
gesture
oh.
is measured and evaluated.
Oh.
Don't they sound delightful? I'm shocked we haven't invited the court to dinner at Skyhold.
The game is like Wicked Grace played to the death. You must never reveal your cards. When you meet the Empress, the eyes of the entire court will be upon you.
Jake loves
You are
to
safer
romance
in the Fade than
Josephine.
Firdiman.
You're just full of joy and light.
She's adorable.
Everything will be fine. Andraste, watch over us all.
But yeah, I am not gonna worry about finding all the secrets, because it's too much a pain in the butt. And I don't want to do the game for 5 hours. You don't ride the bull? Everyone rides the bull. That is true. That's the reason I won't romance Tally, and it drives Jake nuts, because I'm like, but then who does Garrus end up with? I leave Dorian and Iron Bull in my party until I get the romance dialogue, and then I'm like, okay, I am satisfied. And I move on and I switch out Iron Bull for Cassandra, because Cassandra's my girl.
I wish there was more news coming from the Clan Cathedral.
Good news is becoming an increasingly rare commodity.
Yeah, I love Dorian and Iron Bull's thing. They're spectacular. Yeah, Cassandra's one of my favorite characters. I'm glad. I really would have wished we could have had Liliana and Cassandra in the same team. Could have had the left and right hand of the Divine fighting with the Inquisitor. That would have been awesome. But I get it. I mean, I guess you could have substituted Sarah out for Liliana, and that would have been fine by me. Yes.
Need to have this jacket let out a little.
I was gonna say, I saw it like, I want to say 7 years ago.
Seriously, did you look at the steps?
You forget this game comes out in 2014 and we're in 2023. It's been 10 years since a Dragon Age game almost.
Seriously, did you get a look at the steps? I think they're gilded.
So this is just the Winter Palace. What's the summer one look like, I wonder?
Yeah, this game's been out since 2014. And it's 2023. This is Elder Scrolls 6 type of waiting. But yeah, no, I loved in Dragon Age 2 when Varric busts into his brother's mansion and just starts going Rambo on everybody. And Cassandra's like, bullshit. That's not how it happened.
This dress uniform is preposterous. Formal armor would have been better.
How can they call this a vestibule? It's a foyer.
Please, it's barely half the size of the foyer in the Imperial Palace. It's obviously just a vestibule.
I'd call it more of an antechamber myself.
No one asked you.
I have to finish this game because the Final Fantasy Pixel remaster's come out Wednesday, and I ain't finishing this game by Wednesday.
Such a pity the wing is sealed. How could the Empress afford to?
I gotta go through 3 DLCs and the rest of the game.
It wasn't renovations at all.
Though I'm pretty far into it now.
Damaged by Gaspar's catapults.
He fired on the Winter Palace. That's monstrous. I heard Celine was having the entire wing redecorated, but the timing is atrocious.
Why would she do such a thing now?
Nobody cares. We have to meet Josephine's little sister here. I remember that. I need to find her. These guys are dicks.
On the Helmi expedition to Amgarak?
House Dace remains steadfast in blocking all attempts to get into the tide.
Interesting. Waste of time.
What is Gaspar? It wouldn't surprise me if he brought the Inquisitor here as a prank.
Waste of time.
The guest wing is not open to the public at this time, Inquisitor.
If nothing else, the Inquisition backing Gaspar will make Celine nervous. You know how pious she is.
And now presenting Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, and accompanying him, Lord Inquisitor Trevelyan, son of Ban Trevelyan of Ostwick. Vanquisher of the rebel mages of Ferelden, crusher of the vile apostates of the Mage Underground.
This is all for show, my dear.
Champion of the Blessed Andraste herself.
Did you see their faces? Priceless.
Accompanying the Inquisitor, Seeker, Cassandra, Allegra, Portia, Calogera, Philomena.
Get on with it.
Pantagast, 14th cousin to the King of Navarra, 9 times removed, hero of Orlais, right hand of the Divine. Madame Vivienne, first enchanter of the Circle of Magi, enchanter of the Imperial Court, mistress of the Duke of Ghislaine, renowned author Tharic Dethras, head of noble house Dethras, Desher of Kirkwall to the Dwarven Merchants Guild, Sir Cullen Stanton Rutherford of Hunley, commander of the forces of the Inquisition, former Knight Commander of Kirkwall, Lady Liliana,
Cassandra likes his
Nightingale of
books.
the Imperial Court, veteran of the 5th Blight, Seneschal of the Inquisition, and left hand of the Divine. And Lady Josephine Charette Montillier of Antiba City, Ambassador of the Inquisition.
cousin, my dear sister.
Grand Duke, we are always honored when your presence graces our court.
Don't waste my time with pleasantries, Celine. We have business to conclude.
We will meet for the negotiations after we have seen to our other guests.
Inquisitor.
Lord Inquisitor, we welcome you to the Winter Palace. Allow us to
thank you.
present our cousin, the Grand Duchess of Leeds, without whom this gathering would never have been
She's gonna be a box.
What an unexpected pleasure. I was not aware the Inquisition would be part of our festivities. We will certainly speak later, Inquisitor.
Your arrival at court is like a cool wind on a summer's day.
Let's hope the breeze does not herald an oncoming storm.
Even the wisest mistake fair winds for foul. We are at the mercy of the skies, Inquisitor. How do you find Halam Shiral?
I have no words to suffice. Halam Shiral has many beauties, and I couldn't do them justice.
Your modesty does you credit, and speaks well for the Inquisition. Feel free to enjoy the pleasures of the ballroom, Inquisitor. We look forward to watching you dance.
Inquisitor, a word when you have a moment.
Tell me, Yvette, how are Mama and Papa? Are they in good health? Do they want anything?
Papa's perfectly happy in the studio. Is the same as always.
Meaning she's after you to do more work.
You always take her side.
I don't take her side. I happen to think, as she does, you might attend to more of the estate's duties. Also, do stop slouching.
Oh, the dance scene is
Under
important.
Gardener Valmontaigne and paramour to the Duchess.
Josephine! Oh, Josephine! Is this him?
Inquisitor, please allow me to present to you my younger sister, Yvette Gabriella Montillier.
Delighted to meet you, Lady Montillier.
Inquisitor, I've heard so much about you, but not as much as I want. Josephine writes, but she never tells me anything. Is it true? Rebel mages in Redcliffe were performing blood rites and orgies before you stopped them.
Where did you hear such nonsense?
Everyone in Antiva says so. Is it true?
Of course, every word. Especially the parts where everyone was new.
I knew it.
I'm incorrigible.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Celine has held the throne successfully for years. I see no profit in ousting her. Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be, let us say, chaotic.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Okay, usually they disappear.
Military campaigns, but never...
Tell me about yourself, Lady Yvette. This is the first time I've encountered any of Josephine's family.
We have to choose the sarcastic options.
To mention the artists. I've been studying painting under Antiva's royal tutors. You should be proud, Josie. I'm going to be exhibiting my work next season in the city's biggest salon.
Have you actually sat down and finished the painting yet?
I must wait for my inspiration.
And I must wait for your tutor's pins.
Enjoying the ball?
I see many of them.
The dancing is so dull, Your Worship. But the Empress's gallery is magnificent.
Yvette.
Sorry, Josie.
Go on, Josephine.
Half Arroyo must be empty. So many of the Empire's finest are in attendance. They've noticed the Empress paying you special attention, but they don't quite know how to take advantage of it yet. This uncertainty won't last long, I'm afraid.
This may be my only chance to hear about when Josephine was a girl.
Oh, yes. As she told you about when she was 10 and...
Yvette.
Stop. Fine. What about when we were climbing the cliffs by the...
No.
She once told the Duke of...
Absolutely not.
She still plays with her doll collection when no one's looking.
Yvette! That's absurd. Absolutely preposterous.
Adorkable.
Which power should the Inquisition...
Celine Gaspard has run military...
I'll see you...
Another time.
Can you believe the Inquisition fill its ranks with apostates?
You just know that will end badly.
Are you happy to see me at all?
It may not have been wise to attend to this particular engagement yet.
I didn't want to come. Mother made me. At least Haram Sharal has such pretty gardens. They're so darling. I took out my parchment.
Not another book of poetry.
What were they doing in the western approach? It's a wasteland.
Ooh, a thingy. Come here, thingy. You'd have been experience points if I wasn't max level.
I don't like that attitude. Nobody should own as many hunting dogs as he does.
Maker, if I have to clean up another puddle...
And here we are. You haven't embarrassed yourself as much as I feared. Well done, my dear.
I've always wondered, what's the Orlesian fascination with masks?
We all wear masks, my dear, not just the people in Orlais. Who you are as a son, a lover, a friend, is not the same man who speaks for Andraste and leads the Inquisition. Orlesians codify this truth, make it visible. By giving each of these selves its own separate face, they believe they can be their truest selves, unmasked.
Anything happening I should know?
Keep an eye out for Celine's pet apostate. I've no doubt she's involved in this.
It seems like you enjoy this, Vivienne.
This is the game, Inquisitor. Of course I enjoy it. If I didn't, I'd be dead by now.
Any words of wisdom for navigating the ballroom?
Speak to the Council of Heralds. 6 of them are here tonight. The 7th member of the Council is indisposed. His absence will complicate the negotiations. The Council are the highest-ranking players of the game. They see everything. They might know something we can use.
Tell me, Vivienne, where do you want the crown to fall?
What I want is irrelevant, darling. Orlais requires stability, and that is best served by Empress Celine.
Be ready to act when I give the signal.
Always, my dear.
Look, perhaps we can speak later, Inquisitor.
You must dance with me, Commander. We cannot stand about all evening.
I'm afraid not. Thank you. Inquisitor, did you
Poor
need something?
Colin.
The sooner we track down this infiltrator, the better.
He's all out of
Do you have any
sorts.
advice?
Orlesian social events don't fall within my area of expertise. There are a few here we can trust. Be careful.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
Gaspard's claim to the throne is fair. Orlais needs someone capable of responding to the crisis at hand. A military-minded leader seems the best option.
You've attracted a following. Who are all these people?
I don't know. They won't leave me alone.
I take it you're not enjoying yourself.
The headache I'm developing is preferable to the company.
Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary?
Not yet. It would be easier if people would stop talking to me. Other people. Not you.
We'll talk later.
I await your signal.
Lady Nightingale.
I have problems remembering where to go and what to do in this.
Is it true?
Because there's so much crap to do.
Out of the fate by Andraste?
Eventually you have to go out here and out there and out everywhere. I don't remember. We'll figure it out. What's the worst that can happen?
What is Lady Pentecost?
I have an idea, Josephine. You should invite all the family to Skyhold for the summer.
You'd be bored the second you stepped past the gates. Skyhold is a fortified castle, not a holiday resort.
Don't you miss us?
Of course I do, Yvette. There's just so much work undone.
You always put these tasks ahead of us.
Well, I'll see if I can come home for your gallery show. How does that sound?
Oh, that would be so nice. Do you promise?
Yes, I promise.
Oh, wonderful.
Poor Josephine's sister. She just wants a sister.
Is it true the Inquisitor was headed out of the Fade by Andraste?
Good. I was hoping it would catch you. What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best place to strike at Celine is from her side. Empress Celine is fascinated by mysticism, foreseeing the future, speaking with the dead, that sort of rubbish. She has an occult advisor, an apostate who charmed the Empress and key members of the court as if by magic. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
How can Celine openly keep an apostate in the Imperial Court?
The Imperial Court has always had an official position for a mage. Before now, it was little better than court jester. Vivian was the first to turn that appointment into a source of real political power. When the circles rebelled, technically every mage became an apostate. The word lost much of its strength.
You think she's controlling the minds of the court? That's powerful blood magic.
She's worth investigating. Can't be sure of anything here. Both leads point toward the guest wing. It's a promising place to start. I'll coordinate with our spies to see if I can find anything better. I will be in the ballroom if you need me.
Yeah, if Vivian... Oh, I lost court approval. If there was a political statement to be made, Vivian was probably involved.
We are not serving drinks. Order someone else.
Now, I want to listen into your eaves and drops. There we go.
The package is in the guest wing. Upper room.
The one of the garden. Statuette.
I was gonna say, there's a thing here. I know there is. Oh, there's so much crap in here, I forgot. Oh, read the plaque.
No idea.
A new secret.
This man is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win a... Interesting.
I'm just staring at this wall.
Boring.
Dose Caprice.
Well, well. The Inquisitor. Here as a guest of my nephew, no less. I'm curious.
I didn't know the Grand Duke was your nephew.
He's my brother's eldest boy. Always a difficult child, Gaspard. Never listened, never did what he was told. He was raised a prince. All his life we told him he would be emperor. It was his destiny, his duty. What else should he do with his life if not fight for his destiny?
Have you noticed anything strange this evening?
My niece Florian hasn't spoken to me all evening. That's not like her.
What can you tell me about the Civil War?
If you are hoping for insight, you've come to the wrong man. It's war. It is brutal, and terrible, and sometimes necessary. There's nothing more to say.
Another time, my lord.
You don't want to be here, stranger.
Don't tell me where I want to be. I do what I want.
He hasn't made the pickup. It's been hours.
You went into the servants' wing. Nobody's come out of there all night.
I'll tell Briella we have a situation.
Interesting.
Does anyone really think the war will end tonight?
The Empress says.
This way is closed. Please, use the main entrance to the ballroom.
Ding.
Well, well. What's this?
Clear kitchen staff. It's a note. Need immediate support down there. Something's gone wrong.
Philippe should have returned hours ago, dallying with some serving girl while I deal with Gaspard's vitriol.
Awfully selfish of this Philippe, running off to play and leaving you with all the work.
I've half a mind to inform the Dowager. That would teach him to shirk his duties to roll some elven maid. The night of all nights, leaving me to convey Gaspard's death threats to the Council. Wonderful timing, Philippe. Thank you for listening to me, friend. You are too kind, Inquisitor.
I am not talking to you until we get home.
Fine by me.
See here, running around, playing the game.
My Lord Inquisitor!
May we have a word? It is very important.
The Empress has sent us with a message for you.
How can I be certain this message is from the Empress?
We three wear the masks of House Valmont.
They signify that we are public faces of the Empress.
They are also extremely fashionable.
I'm always honored to hear from Her Majesty.
Oh, she is the honored one, Inquisitor.
Empress Celine is eager to assist the Herald of Andraste in his holy endeavor.
She will pledge her full support to the Inquisition as soon as the usurper Gaspard is defeated.
Let me guess. All she wants in return is for me to help her defeat the Duke.
Oh, this is not meant as a bargain by any means, Inquisitor.
The support of the Empress is not conditional. It will be yours once the negotiations are concluded.
The Empress is the most skilled diplomat in Thedas. Gaspard is hopelessly out of his depth.
But we have taken enough of your time.
Please, enjoy the masquerade, Inquisitor.
Oh.
Waste of time.
I didn't expect the Inquisitor to be so delightful. Have you heard from your nephew?
Not since his regiment joined the fighting.
What is Lady Pentecost wearing? What is Lady Pentecost wearing?
Some materials.
Interesting.
I'm gonna have to upgrade my gear when I get back to Skyhold.
I'm quite certain it was blood on the tiles.
If they're playing the game, they're not doing it very well. You don't leave evidence if you play to win.
With Gaspard and that elf woman here, the only one playing to win is Celine.
You only say that because you fancy the Empress's pet apostate. It sickens me to think of the chaos those Maleficarum are causing across the Empire.
She is religious. It's just
Templars abandoned the faithful in their darkest hour.
she's kind of an idiot.
They are the ones who should be brought
Like
to
she's.
heel, if you ask me.
In terms of empresses, they don't do a great job of showing how cunning she is in terms of this game. They need to show her be smarter. And I get it, you have to play the game in your main character syndrome. It's just
This is a private
she's the
conversation.
Empress.
Did I hear correctly? If you're interested in bringing the Templars to heel, you may have found an ally.
If that's true, I would welcome an alliance with the Inquisition. I will get in touch with your Lady Nightingale. I have assets that might benefit your cause.
Gentlemen.
Sweet, I got an agent.
Be in touch, Inquisitor.
Nice.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does will win over the consequences.
I want to go upstairs first.
Are all the DLCs here?
Maker, I hope not.
Yeah, right. See, my court approval's going down. It's kind of dumb. Yes, it is. I agree. I do have to be careful, though. I kind of have to pay attention because otherwise bad things will happen. because I am losing court appeal at a fairly substantial rate here. Okay. One downside to this, it's like, oh, you're losing.
That's the bell. I should get back to the ballroom.
Okay, I need to check this. I have a book. I'll be right back. I need to grab it. Alright, let's see here. Here we go. Got it. Put that next to Grogu. Open this up. Okay. Save. So Etienne the First. Reveal. Etienne the Second. This dude. This dude. And that dude.
It'll be the second bell. Fashionably late.
And because I decided to be fashionably late, I jumped 21 points in reputation.
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
Gaspar is wasting his time.
I don't like it. Nobody should ever think that we don't need it.
If I have to clean up another puddle.
Third bell. Now I'm just plain late.
I screwed up.
The band is still waiting for their refreshments.
Well, well. What have we here? The leader of the new Inquisition, fabled herald of the faith. Delivered from the grasp of the Fade by the hand of blessed Andraste herself. What could bring such an exalted creature here to the Imperial Court, I wonder? Do even you know?
We may never know. Courtly intrigues and all that.
Such intrigues obscure much, but not all. I am Morrigan. Some call me advisor to Empress Celine on matters of the arcane.
Huh. So did my hero for Weldon.
Very busy this evening, hunting in every dark corner of the palace.
Oh, yes.
Perhaps you and I hunt the same prey.
She's a very big character from this point forward in this game. Unfortunately not playable.
I don't know. Do we?
You are being coy.
I'm being careful.
Not unwise, here of all places. Allow me to speak first, then. Recently I found and killed
yep, this is where you run into her.
guest within these very halls. An agent of Tevinter. So I offer you this, Inquisitor. A key found on the Tevinter's body. Where it leads, I cannot say. Yet, if Celine is in danger, I cannot leave her side long enough to search. You can.
You left Celine alone. Is that wise?
I must return to her anon, but she is safe enough. For the moment.
I've never played through Trespasser, so that's why I'm actually doing this.
Strikes at her in public in
So I'm
front
ready
of
for
all
Dragon
her
Age 4 when
court
it comes
and
out.
the Imperial Guard.
What's your interest in protecting Empress Celine? Are you her bodyguard?
Do I seem a bodyguard to you? If anything were to happen to Celine, eyes would turn first to her occult advisor, even if they knew otherwise. There are sharks in the water, and I will not fall prey to them. Not now, not ever.
Why did you kill the agent? He might have had useful information.
I would not have slain the man on sight had he not attacked me first. Why? Undoubtedly I caught him in an illicit act. I did not know from whence he came until after the battle, and regret only that I could not capture him alive. What intentions the Imperium has here, I suspect you know far better than I.
Briala's people are whispering about disappearances in the servants' quarters. This key may lead there.
The ambassador does have eyes and ears everywhere, does she not? Proceed with caution, Inquisitor. Enemies abound, and not all of them aligned with Tevinter. What comes next will be most exciting.
Oh boy. I'm kind of mad I lost my spot there. I lost the 20 points.
This ball is a waste of time, like all Orlesian foolishness. Let's
I'm with
find
you,
the
Cassandra.
Venatori collaborator and get out of here.
Have you witnessed anything noteworthy?
Nothing yet. I will let you know.
You don't seem to care much for the ball.
Orlesians pretend their petty squabbles are a game. Yes, let us treat murder, corruption, and deceit as delightful amusements. How wonderful. We are here to save Empress Celine, and it galls me. Why does she merit our protection? The Empire would be better off without her. Gaspard is the leader Orlais needs in this crisis.
You support the civil war?
Of course not. Chaos is what Corypheus wants, and we must oppose him. Were it up to me, however, I would let Celine fall and Gaspard take the throne. He would see the true threat, not spend his time throwing balls and writing letters.
I don't suppose you'd like to dance, Lady Cassandra.
Now? This is hardly the time. We're here to find a killer, not dance.
Stay alert. We don't know where the enemy is hiding.
I'll be watching for trouble. The sooner we leave this place, the better.
Just gossip. Just gossip.
Whisper, whisper, whisper.
Emissaries to Kal Shurak have yet to return. I doubt we'll find them alive.
So Balin decided to reach out to them after all?
Not directly. The emissaries came from the Merchant Guild, but the expedition was financed by the king.
Boring.
I didn't hear Liam. I don't know if he's in this game or not. I know Laura Bailey is. But as for Liam, I've not heard him. It's very possible. I mean, it's a big game. I didn't hear any German, though. That's typically kind of what he does, is like a German type character. I think I've been through here. Ooh, excuse me. I grabbed a quick snack because I was feeling my tummy rumble, and now it's rumbling with the burps.
If the Inquisitor is here with Gaspard, does that mean that Andraste wants him to be Emperor?
I almost want to side with Gaspard just because Cassandra told me to.
Gaspard is wasting his time.
And then whatever happens, it's Cassandra's fault.
Boring.
I spoke with you already. Well, sometimes they repeat, and it's important to talk to them again.
Have you noticed anything strange this evening?
My niece Florian hasn't spoken to me all evening. That's not like her.
What can you tell me about the Civil War?
If you are hoping for insight, it's war. It is...
Okay. He had no new insights.
Good evening, Inquisitor.
Good evening.
Did you hear what Gaspard said to Germain? His own uncle.
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council. This door is sealed for the evening. Please, move along.
Move along. Move along.
I don't think the talks are going well.
The Empress will get us through this. Don't you worry.
Inquisitor, are you enjoying the ball? This is your first presentation at court, is it not? I am Lady Marcelette, court historian to Her Imperial Majesty.
What exactly does a court historian do?
I am responsible for the historical records of the court. I maintain our library and record all official proceedings.
Are you here to chronicle the events of the evening for posterity?
Oh yes, this is a momentous occasion. The first meeting between the Grand Duke and Her Majesty since the war began. Even if, Maker forbid, the talks should fail, it is an important moment in the history of the Empire.
Good evening, Lady Marcelette.
Another time, perhaps.
I lost more court approval for that? Are you kidding me? I'm doing terribly. I'm gonna get kicked out of the ball. Unbelievable. I don't think I've ever been kicked out of the ball before. I'm doing absolutely miserable. Wow.
Why would the Empress invite an elf?
The game you say Gaspard does.
He and Selena aren't getting anywhere, it seems.
I had no idea.
Gaspard is wasting his time.
Yeah, I think if I drop too low, the thing ends and you fail.
Leave us.
Don't tell me what to do. Oh my goodness.
I still remember the... Another time, perhaps?
Mistress Nightingale.
Look at Lady Cambion's slippers, trimmed with pearls and emeralds, and those buckles. Toss her into the lake and she'll.
How am I
sink
liking this
right to
game
the
so far?
bottom.
I love this game. I've played it before. Like this is
There's a Tevinter assassin
probably
on
my
loose, and you're
5th
concerned
playthrough.
about buckles
I'm just
on shoes.
doing it because I want to get it done before Dragon Age 4. Because I haven't played Trespasser ever.
Deal about a person from their clothing. Gold and jewels on a dancing.
Because I went through when the game first came out, way back when.
and finds
and
herself
played it
in the dust and
like
dirt,
200 hours
she
each
is
playthrough.
unconcerned with the possibility of losing the shoe or
And
soiling it.
did like a
vulgar
dwarf, an
display of
elf, a
wealth.
human,
But Lady Cambien's
and
family has
Kunari run
recently
through
lost most of its
just to see what it was like. And
They
then
have their title.
they started
But
releasing DLCs, and I got
little
up to
So, how did Cambien
the
acquire
Deep
such
Roads
a
one
large
and,
shoe?
and the Avar one, but I never did
What has she
Trespasser.
done? Who has she bedded? These are all useful questions, no?
But I hate this part of the game. I am doing absolutely abysmal in this.
You're different here than in Skyhold. More approachable, perhaps?
This is Halam Shiral, Inquisitor. This is the Imperial Court. This is the beating heart of the Great Game. Of course, everyone is wearing a mask. I learned this very young. I was still a girl when I attended my first ball. All this, the smiles, the small talk, it is a dance. And like any dance, it can be learned. For some of us, it has become so familiar that the steps may be performed in our sleep.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
What we need most of all is a stable Orlais. Either Celine or Gaspard can give us that.
It's a good game, but it's very long. See you, Steph. I'm hoping to get through this today, but I'm not sure I will. But Texas, you'll enjoy the game, I think. It's very fun. Very good story. And the characters are all fairly likable, except for Sarah. I'm not a big fan of her.
I found this out. I'm not sure of its value.
Very interesting. It may not help our investigation, but we can put it to use. A little more dirt like this, and we might have some leverage in the court. If you find more, let me know.
Have you seen anything interesting?
Oh yes. Halam Shiral is lousy with scandals and scheming. But no sign of a Tevinter infiltrator, I'm afraid.
I should go. Be on your guard.
I always am.
Mistress Inquisitor, is there something you needed?
Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary?
I'll let you know at once if I do.
Do you have any advice?
Orlesian social events don't fall within my area of expertise. There are
Poor
a few here
Colin.
we can trust. Be careful.
We'll talk later.
My wages.
Duke Gaspard has made a fortunate alliance.
He's fortunate. I wonder if the Lord Inquisitor feels the same.
Inquisitor, to what do we owe this honor?
We are always delighted to speak with you, of course.
Her Imperial Majesty is unfortunately occupied at present.
If the evening ends favorably for the Empress, how does the Inquisition benefit?
Her Imperial Majesty brings the might of the Orlesian Empire with her friendship.
She is also a respected diplomat and world leader.
The Elysian Empire is a desert.
Dances for you with Rivain, Antiva, the Underfells.
And she throws the best parties.
Perhaps you could tell me something then. I'd like to know more about Empress Celine.
Her Majesty has held the throne since she was just 16 years old.
She is respected and beloved, not just in Orlais, but across Thedas.
She doesn't care much for Nira, and she drinks her tea black.
We haven't been properly introduced.
How rude of us to forget.
My Lord Inquisitor, allow me to present Lady Couteau.
And Lady Colombe.
And of course, Lady Fleur. We are the Empress's ladies-in-waiting.
I'd like to know more about the negotiations. It seems strange to hold peace talks during a ball.
The nobility must do things very differently in Austria.
By Orlesian tradition, moments of great solemnity are celebrated with revels and feasts.
While joyous occasions are given time for reflection and contemplation.
We must never forget that life is both bitter and sweet.
The ball is an opportunity to celebrate life and hope for the future, while we mourn those killed in the war.
What is the Empress trying to accomplish with the negotiations?
Peace is her only objective, Inquisitor.
Gaspard and Briala are driven by personal ambitions, but those desires threaten the safety of all Orlesians.
The war must end tonight. We must conclude this to deal with the larger crisis.
What can you tell me about the other parties involved in the talks?
Gaspard is a decorated general, much beloved by the Imperial Army, and a legend among chevaliers.
He is better suited to the battlefield than the throne, and he would gladly make his palace a war camp.
He's also fiendishly charming.
Lady Briala has great intentions to change the lives of the elves for the better.
Even if her plans could never work and would only provoke hate crimes against alienages.
She is an idealist, but her lack of patience could prove disastrous.
My investigations turned up something interesting. It concerns the Grand Duke. He's made a lot of threats to the Council of Heralds.
The Grand Duke is all talk, Inquisitor.
Very loud talk, accompanied by swords.
He has never had any skill at the game.
My investigations turned up something interesting. It concerns Ambassador Briala. She killed ambassadors from both Celine and Gaspard and forged documents to both sides.
How despicable!
After the Empress extended her hospitality?
She's better at the game than we thought.
Her people have infiltrated every part of the Winter Palace.
This is extremely alarming, Inquisitor.
She could be spying on our every word.
How exciting!
Good evening.
Until next time, Inquisitor.
Do take care.
Enjoy the masquerade!
We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will be with us.
Let's go ahead and throw a save down. I just realized I haven't really saved anything.
Where are Alban and Colette?
Who cares? Is that Marquis Etienne? He's fiendish, man.
Waste of time. Waste of time.
You must admit, the work done in Cumberland is revolutionary.
I have yet to see the device, but the ambassador to Navarre will talk of nothing else.
Okay. I need to go talk to Briala.
This could be worth checking out.
Someone will be held accountable for this.
Okay, well, we're gonna lose reputation doing that stupid crap, so we're not gonna worry about it.
This was no servant. What was he doing here?
This man was a council of Herald's emissary. Curious to find him here.
The crest of the Chalon family. Duke Gaspard will answer for this.
Time to have a word with the Duke.
Venatori agents! That must be the Venatori leader.
I'm doing so bad at the game, I might as well make the money. like in the 70s here, so I'm not used to this low of a court approval. Oops-a-daisy.
Fancy meeting you here. So, you're Inquisitor Trevelyan. I'm surprised they got you sobered up and dressed for this party. We haven't been properly introduced, have we? I'm Ambassador Briala.
Ambassador, is it? Whose ambassador are you exactly?
If the nobility is going to treat elves as if we are not citizens, we may as well have the trappings of a foreign power. You clean this place out. Will take a month to get all the Tevinter blood off the marble. I came down to save or avenge my missing people. But you've beaten me to it. So, the Council of Herald's emissary in the courtyard. That's not your work, is it?
He was dead when I arrived.
I expected as much. You may have arrived with the Grand Duke, but you don't seem to be doing his dirty work. I knew he was smuggling his chevaliers, but killing a council emissary? Bringing Tevinter assassins into the palace? Those are desperate acts. Gaspard must be planning to strike tonight.
Are you sure he's behind this? He was too easygoing for a man plotting treason.
Don't let his charm blind you. He's Orlesian. That smile is his mask. I misjudged you, Inquisitor. You might just be an ally worth having. What could you do with an army of elven spies at your disposal? You should think about it.
You know how to make a sales pitch, Ambassador, I'll give you that.
I do, don't I? I know which way the wind is blowing. I'd bet coin that you'll be part of the peace talks before the night is over. And if you happen to lean a little bit our way, it could prove advantageous to us both. Just a thought.
More politics and double-dealing. Is there anyone here who is not corrupt?
It's the game, my dear. Everyone plays it here.
Thank you, Inquisitor.
Back to the party.
Interesting.
Did you see that knife-eared servant girl in the kitchen? The ginger.
Keep talking. I'm starting to believe I was there.
I need to get one of them.
Don't we all?
Is it true what they say? You're the Inquisitor, are you not? We heard stories of your accomplishments.
I'd wager I have better tales than anything you've heard.
I told you, Philippe.
Not everyone fights an archdemon and lives to tell. It's an inspiration.
If you'd like, Commander Cut...
Really?
You'd only be gone a moment.
Philippe, the world is coming to an end. If we don't hear this story now, we'll never have a chance.
You're right. Thank you, Inquisitor. Let's go.
There might be something here. Better take a closer look.
Fine, we're doing fine.
No idea.
I picked up another secret.
Waste of time.
Inquisitor Trevelyan. We met briefly. I am Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon. Welcome to my party.
Why am I not at all surprised that you want to see me now?
This is Orlais, Inquisitor. Nothing happens by accident. I believe tonight you and I are both concerned by the actions of a certain person. Come, dance with me. Spies will not hear us on the dance floor.
Very well. Shall we dance, Your Grace?
I'd be delighted. You are from the Free Marches, are you not? How much do you know about our little war?
I assure you, the effects of this war reach far beyond the borders of the Orlesian Empire.
Time to get some
Perhaps
court
it
approval
does.
going.
I should not be surprised to find the Empire is the center of everyone's world.
It took great effort to arrange tonight's negotiations. Yet one party would use this occasion for blackest treason. The security of the Empire is at stake. Neither one of us wishes to see it fall.
Do we both want that, Lady Florian?
I hope we are of one mind on this.
In times like these, it's hard to tell friend from foe. Is it not, Your Grace?
I know you arrived here as a guest of my brother Gaspard, and have been everywhere in the palace. You are a curiosity to many, Inquisitor, and a matter of concern to some.
Am I the curiosity or the concern to you, Your Grace?
A little of both, actually. This evening is of great importance, Inquisitor. I wonder what role you will play in it. Do you even yet know who is friend and who is foe? Who in the court can be trusted?
If I've learned anything, Your Grace, it is to put my trust in no one.
In the Winter Palace, everyone is alone. It cannot have escaped your notice that certain parties are engaged in dangerous machinations tonight.
I thought dangerous machinations were the national sport in Orlais.
You have little time. The attack will come soon. You must stop Gaspard before he strikes. In the Royal Wing Garden, you will find the captain of my brother's mercenaries. He knows all Gaspard's secrets. I'm sure you can persuade him to be forthcoming.
We'll see what the night has in store, won't we?
You'll be the talk of the court for months. We should take you dancing more often.
I'd happily do more dancing. Just not with Corypheus.
I promise not to invite him to your next ball.
Were you dancing with Duchess Florian?
More importantly, what happened in the servants' quarters? I heard there was fighting.
I hope you have good news. It appears the peace talks are crumbling.
Morrigan helped me get into the servants' quarters where I found a group of Venatori and Gaspard's dagger.
The man would truly do anything to become Emperor.
Then, the attack on the Empress will happen tonight.
Warning Celine is pointless. She needs these talks to succeed, and to flee would admit defeat. Then perhaps we should let her die.
You have an idea, Leliana?
What Corypheus wants is chaos. Even with Celine alive, that could still happen. To foil his plan, the Empire must remain strong. This evening, someone must emerge victorious.
And it doesn't need to be Celine. She's right.
Do you realize what you're suggesting, Leliana?
Sometimes the best path is not the easiest one.
You're asking me to decide what's best for Orlais.
More than that. Whoever controls the Imperial throne will affect all of Thales.
You cannot stop Corypheus without a decision. You must support someone, or all is lost.
Then we should support Celine. She is the rightful ruler. Why would we say otherwise?
Because she led Orlais to this point. I say Gaspard, provided his sister is wrong about him.
I would suggest Briala. She could bring true peace, not only to the Empire, but also to its elves.
This is, however, your decision, Inquisitor, not ours.
We came here to save Celine.
Then you must not only save her life, but also her empire.
That means giving her a victory over both Gaspard and Briala.
If there truly is proof Gaspard's in league with Corypheus, that would be a start.
What did Duchess Floriane tell you?
She said Gaspard's mercenary captain is in the Royal Wing, that he knows about the assassination.
Which could be a trap.
Or a lead. Either way, you should search the private quarters in that wing for clues.
Then get me access. And in the meantime, get your soldiers into position.
At once. Be careful, Inquisitor.
Alright, so I got the 100 court approval. Good.
Lord Inquisitor.
I'd like your opinion of this gathering, my lady.
It's doomed to fail, of course. Celine knows that. At least it should be amusing. We haven't had such a menagerie at court in living memory.
Have you noticed anything odd this evening?
Too few Imperial guards stand in attendance, my dear. A shame. They are so pleasantly decorative.
Would you care to dance, Lady Mantillon?
You, Inquisitor, are a delight. One does not often find foreigners so well versed in the game. But you have other dances to perform first. Perhaps you will save me a dance for later?
Good evening, milady.
Mistress Nightingale, what a pleasure to see you again. You look radiant.
What is Lady Pentecost wearing?
Inquisitor Trevelyan. Slumming even more than usual, I see. You've charmed some of the nobles. We'll see how long you can keep their favor. What brings you to me?
I had a question about you, Brianna.
I'm an elf, Inquisitor. That should tell you everything you need to know about my life. I'm good at what I do. And so that matters. I will help my people no matter the cost.
I've been told you were romantically involved with the Empress.
I didn't take you for a gossip monger, Inquisitor. I suppose your spies have already briefed you, so there's no point in pretending. Yes, Celine and I were lovers once, but we've gone our separate ways now.
What's your story? How was an elf invited to the Empress's ball as an ambassador?
Empress Celine and I have history. There was a time when I put my spies at her disposal. She knows my qualifications. We had a falling out. Now we are negotiating to determine whether I return to her side in the war.
What do you mean we had a falling out?
She betrayed me. Turned me over to the guards on a trumped-up charge to save her political reputation. It wasn't personal. It's the game. That's how all Orlesians justify these things to themselves. It wouldn't do to let the court know she had an elven friend.
If she doesn't win you back to her side, what do you intend to do?
I have contingency plans. I'm not a child putting all my hopes on a single ball. This evening gives me access to Duke Gaspard. He's challenging. Not as progressive or persuadable as his cousin. But with time and sufficient blackmail, he might work with us.
You just told me you have reason to betray the Empress.
I know it's incriminating. Few harbor more resentment against Celine than I. But if she died after inviting me here, the court would certainly pin her death on me. An elf assassinating the Empress? Alienages across Orlais, across all Thedas, would be purged. That cannot happen.
You might be interested in what I've found. We'll speak more later, Ambassador.
Another time, Inquisitor. Is there something we may do for you?
We do so enjoy speaking with you.
We will speak to the Empress on your behalf.
My investigations turned up something interesting. It concerns the Grand Duke. I intercepted orders to his general to sneak soldiers into the palace tonight.
How could he behave so dishonorably?
He would attack the Empress and break all the binding rules of hospitality?
I thought there were more handsome chevaliers on the dance floor than there should be.
My investigations turned up something interesting. It concerns Ambassador Brialla. Her people have infiltrated it.
This is... She could... How exciting!
And do take...
Enjoy...
There's the Empress.
My friend, come in, have a drink. What can I do for you? You've been busily charming the court, I see.
I am best politician.
I have a question about the peace talks. If something were to happen to the Empress, how would that change your plans?
Celine has not declared an heir. If the Maker called her home, the crown would fall to me. But the Council of Heralds would try to implicate me in any misfortune. If they succeeded, the crown could pass to my sister, or one of our more distant cousins.
What are you hoping to achieve at the negotiations?
I intend to take back what is rightfully mine. Celine stole the crown through politicking, but I am the rightful emperor of Orlais. The Empire has been mired in intrigue for too long. We need a clear course of action.
You intend to return to expansionism?
I like to solve problems in the simplest manner, my friend.
I'd like to know more about you.
All of Orlais knows my story. But you, my friend, are far too sensible to be Orlesian. The heart of it is simple. I am the rightful heir to the throne of Orlais. But my cousin, Celine, is a politician, while I am a man of action. She charmed the Council of Heralds. They gave the crown to her, and while it looks fetching on her, I intend to take it back.
What's your claim to the throne?
The 100 Days Cough swept Valroya in 877. It killed thousands of children, royalty and commoner alike. There are only 3 living grandchildren of Emperor Judicael I. Myself, my sister Floriane, and Celine. And I am the eldest. By rights, the crown should have passed to me.
If you're the rightful heir, how did Celine become Empress?
I am the oldest, but I lack the Valmont name. My mother was the late Emperor's sister. Celine is a Valmont. Her honored father was my mother's brother. But she is the youngest. When there is any doubt surrounding the line of succession, the matter falls to the Council of Heralds. Celine outplayed me, forming alliances on the Council for support. So they passed over me in her favor.
What are you claiming? Her crown or her head?
If Celine loses her head, it will not be my doing. I want my empire. I do not wish harm on my cousin, but I would not weep at her demise.
We'll speak later, Duke Gaspard.
Another time, friend.
What is Lady Pentecost?
Inquisitor? Inquisitor?
Hello?
I'll see you later.
Is it true the Inquisitor was headed out of the faith I entrusted? Is it true the Inquisitor was headed out of the faith I entrusted?
Inquisitor?
Is it true the Inquisitor was headed out of the faith I entrusted? Is it true? Commander, has anyone ever told you that you have the most remarkable eyes? Maximilian Swift.
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
Okay, so we gotta get to, you know, the Royal Wing.
Just gossip.
So that should help tremendously.
Did I see you talking to Duke Cyril de Montfort?
I was merely being polite. Unlike some people.
Don't give me that. I've seen the way he looks at you. I cannot believe you danced 4 times with Cyril de Montfort.
Interesting. Good to know.
You must admit, the work done in Cumberland is revolutionary.
I have yet to see the delights that the ambassador of the world is offering against.
Okay, the Royal Wing is where you start losing stuff, so let's go ahead here, put on some armor.
going to sneak around to look through the Empress's unmentionables now? Just how drunk are you, boss?
Super kick, the Spartan way.
I hope you're not disappointed I stole your dance partner.
No, not at all. No one's supposed to be here. Briala said... Oh, I shouldn't have trusted her.
Briala told you to come to this wing of the palace.
Not personally. The ambassador can't be seen talking to the servants. We get coded messages at certain locations, but the order came from her. She's been watching the Grand Duke all night. No surprise she wanted someone to search his sister's room.
Is there anyone else who knows the code and the drop location who could have written those orders?
I don't know. Any of us could do it, but... No. No one else would send me here. It had to be Briala.
So this room belongs to Grand Duchess Florianne?
It used to. This had been her private room in Halam Shiral since she was a child. But this part of the palace was damaged, and the royal family moved to the guest wing.
What were you trying to find in Florianne's old room?
The message didn't say. I should have known it was a setup.
This wing is sealed. How did you get in here?
Easy. The door was unlocked. One of the others probably handled it.
All sorts of people tonight are taking advantage of this wing being closed.
Briala probably knew it was dangerous and sent me anyway. One more embarrassing secret erased. I knew her. Before. When she was Celine's pet. Now she wants to play Revolution, but I remember. She was sleeping with the Empress who purged our alienage.
Something like that could destroy Briala, if it were known.
No. Some know she has a history with the Empress. But they believe she was just a favored servant. If the Inquisition will protect me, I'll tell you everything I know about our ambassador.
Go to the ballroom. Find Commander Cullen. He'll keep you safe.
Thank you. Make her protect you, Inquisitor.
So far, so good.
What happened here?
You painted Orlesian assholes! What a...
Inquisitor, what a pleasure. I wasn't certain you'd attend. You're such a challenge to read. I had no idea if you'd taken my bait.
I fear I'm a bit busy at the moment if you were looking for a dance partner.
Yes, I see that. Such a pity you did not save one final dance for me. It was kind of you to walk into my trap so willingly. I was so tired of your meddling. Corypheus insisted that the Empress die tonight, and I would hate to disappoint him.
Why kill the Empress? What does Corypheus want to achieve?
Celine's death is a stepping stone on the path to a better world. Corypheus will enter the Black City and claim the godhood waiting for him. We will cast down your useless maker and usher in a united world, guided by the hand of an attentive god.
You're Orlesian royalty. Why would you help Corypheus attack your empire?
You think so small, Inquisitor. Why settle for an empire when Corypheus will remake the entire world? I admit, I will relish the look on Gaspar's face when he realizes I've outplayed him. He always was a sore loser.
What exactly is in this for you?
The world, of course. I'll deliver the entire south of Thedas, and Corypheus will save me. When he has ascended to godhood, I will rule all Thedas in his name.
At this point, I'd think disappointment was an old friend.
You poor deluded thing. You don't know half of what Samson and I have planned. And now I suppose you never will. In their darkest dreams, no one imagines I would assassinate Celine myself. All I need is to keep you out of the ballroom long enough to strike. A pity you'll miss the rest of the ball, Inquisitor. They'll be talking of it for years. Kill him, and bring me his marked hand. It will make a fine gift for the Master.
Kind of in a bad way here, we're surrounded. Time to end this nonsense.
Andraste's tits, what was all that? Were those demons? There aren't any more of those blasted demons coming, right?
Good eye. Those were definitely demons.
Maker bless me. Demons? How could there be demons in the fucking Winter Palace? I knew Gaspard was a bastard, but I didn't think he'd fever to fucking horrors over a damn bill.
Duke Gaspard lured you out here.
Well, his sister. But it had to come from him, didn't it? And all that garbage she was spewing doesn't mean anything. Gaspard had to be the mastermind.
You honestly believe you were captured, tied up, and thrown into a death trap because of a bill?
When you put it like that, it seems a bit odd. The Duke wanted to move on the palace tonight, but he didn't have enough fancy chevaliers. So he hired me and my men. He had to offer us triple our usual pay to come to Orlais. Sticky, fancy cheesemonger.
Want a new job? One that pays better? The Inquisition can always use a good mercenary company.
You hiring? I'm game. Anything's better than this bullshit. You want me to talk to the Empress or the court or sing a blasted song in a chantry? I'll do it.
Okay, took care of that. We're done with this area.
Thank the Maker you're back. The Empress will begin her speech soon. What should we do?
Wait here, Cullen. I'm going to have a word with the Grand Duchess.
What? There's no time. The Empress will begin her speech any moment.
We have the court one more show, Your Grace.
Inquisitor.
The eyes of every noble in the Empire are upon us, Your Grace. Remember to smile. This is your party. You wouldn't want them to think you had lost control.
Who would not be delighted to speak with you, Inquisitor?
I seem to recall you saying all I needed was to keep you out of the ballroom long enough to strike. When your archers failed to kill me in the garden, I feared you wouldn't save me this last dance. It's so easy to lose your good graces. You even framed your brother for the murder of a council emissary. It was an ambitious plan. Celine, Gaspard, the entire Council of Heralds, all your enemies under one roof.
This is very entertaining, but you do not imagine anyone believes your wild stories.
That will be a matter for a judge to decide, cousin.
Gaspard? You cannot believe this. You know I would never... Gaspard?
At least this time, justice will be swift. Your Imperial Majesty, I think we should speak in private. Elsewhere.
Your sister attempted regicide in front of the entire court, Gaspard.
You're the spy master. If anyone knew this atrocity was coming, it was you.
You don't deny your involvement.
I do deny it. I knew nothing of Florian's plans. But you knew it all and did nothing.
I don't know which is better. That you think I'm all-seeing, or that you're trying so hard to play innocent and failing.
Enough. We will not bicker while Tevinter plots against our nation. For the safety of the Empire, I will have answers.
Your captain tells me you spent all night sneaking mercenaries into the palace, Gaspard. You intended to attack.
And where did your troops come from, Inquisitor? If sneaking men into the palace is damning, then we are both damned.
I found your knife on the dead body of a Council of Heralds emissary in the palace.
The Council will not overlook such a horrendous crime, cousin.
It would be a horrendous crime, if it were true. But I have done no such thing.
By all means, continue to protest your innocence, Gaspard. We find this performance endlessly fascinating.
There were also the threats Gaspard made to the Council of Heralds to bully them into giving him the crown.
Gaspard is a bully. Is that the worst you can say of me?
And his mercenary captain will be happy to tell you all their plans for the coup tonight.
Thank you, Inquisitor. There can be no doubt of your treason, Gaspard.
No, it seems there cannot.
In light of overwhelming evidence, we have no choice but to declare you an enemy of the Empire. You are hereby sentenced to death.
You have enough proof to dissolve his support for the throne, Your Majesty. You don't need to take his life.
As a favor to you, Inquisitor, I will let him live. Gaspard, you are hereby banished from the Empire on pain of death.
Is that all? You're too kind, Celine.
Thank you, Inquisitor, for all your efforts tonight. I owe you my life, and Orlais owes you its future. You have done a service for the Empire never to be forgotten, my friend. This piece is your doing. You truly are the instrument of Andraste. Orlais will never forget your part in this, nor will I. Lords and ladies of the court, the civil war which has plagued us is at an end. The Orlesian Empire is whole again. Those who drove us into war for selfish gain have been dealt with as traitors. Gaspard de Chalon is guilty of treason. He is no longer our cousin, and shall never again hold title or land in Orlais. We have lost enough. No more! Now, we can move forward to healing and restoration. In our hour of need, the Inquisition has faced these dangers beside us. It is the honor of Orlais to stand with Andraste's herald to end this crisis. And in ages to come, our children and grandchildren can say that we left them a brighter world. Will you address the court, my friend?
Our enemy is clever. He manipulated the highest-ranking members of the court. If we want victory, we will have to fight him in more ways than one.
We of the court must use our resources. Not every battle is won on the field, but that is tomorrow. Tonight, feast, my friends. Enjoy our victory. There will be many more to come.
And so we have finished the game.
Orlesian nobility
Not the game
makes
itself,
drunken
but the
toasts
game
to your
within the
victory,
game.
And yet you are not present to hear them. Do you tire so quickly of their congratulations, Inquisitor? It is most fickle, after all your efforts on their behalf.
I would have stayed, but the punch ran dry. Scandalous.
Indeed. Let us see if you take this piece of news as poorly. By imperial decree, I have been named liaison to the Inquisition. Celine wishes to offer you any and all aid, including mine. Congratulations.
I had no idea you were interested in joining the Inquisition.
The assignment has been given to me, regardless of my personal interest. Celine knows you face an opponent who wields great magical power, which is far more important than her own curiosity. You will require my knowledge if you are to defeat such magic. Regardless, Corypheus is a threat to Orlais and to myself. Thus, I am not opposed to the appointment.
What skills do you have that would benefit us?
I have knowledge which falls beyond the realm of most mages. I suspect this is also true of Corypheus, thus it behooves you to add to your arcane arsenal, yes? Mundane knowledge will not bring the rift in the sky to a close, after all.
When you say knowledge beyond the realm of most mages, do you mean blood magic?
I know many obscure, forgotten, and forbidden arts. Some of it you might consider blood magic, yes? Should thought of that frighten you, allow me to offer reassurance. Knowledge alone does no harm. What I possess, I place at your disposal to make use of or ignore as you desire.
Welcome to the Inquisition, Morrigan.
A most gracious response. I shall meet you at Skyhold.
I can't believe you escaped before me. A fat count insisted on talking about soup for 15 minutes. We can return to Skyhold whenever you like. The sooner the better. Is something wrong?
Things went according to plan for once. I couldn't be happier.
It is a bit of a surprise, isn't it? We will need to put the soldiers at Skyhold on alert. Better to be safe.
Wait. There is one thing we must do before we go. May I have this dance, Lady Cassandra?
A dance? After all we've been through tonight?
Can you think of a better way to celebrate?
Aww. I'm glad I made her my romance option.
Terrible.
Yeah. We did it. We completed one of the more absurd parts of the game. The game. So we did it. Now let's see where we're at.
The matter is urgent, Lady Josephine.
I am well aware of that, revered mother.
We will need them to return to Val Royeaux as soon as possible. There are ceremonies, ordinations. Maker's mercy.
That's quite impossible at the moment. However, I will see to this matter as soon as possible.
My Lord Inquisitor. Please, may I have a word with you?
How may I assist you, revered mother?
With the political turmoil put to rest, our minds turn to a single question. The next divine. We cannot answer it without the left and right hands of Divine Justinia V.
I have already told you, revered mother. Lady Leliana and Seeker Cassandra cannot be spared from their duties.
But surely with the support of the Empire, the Inquisition will not be harmed by the loss of just 2 souls.
Why do you need Liliana and Cassandra?
They were Her Holiness's most trusted advisors. They represent her legacy, her hopes for peace in Thedas. They could rally the Grand Clerics to follow as no candidate from the clergy has been able to.
You must think very well of them to suggest such a thing.
Lady Liliana and Seeker Cassandra were Justinia's most trusted friends and advisors. Our late divine is still held in high esteem. To honor her, the Grand Clerics might support one of them as successor.
How long does the Chantry need them?
Several months, at least. If one of them is crowned divine, she would not be returning to the Inquisition.
These aren't just any 2 people. They're key members of the Inquisition.
For the sake of Thedas, we must ask you to make this sacrifice.
This will have to be settled later.
The Inquisitor has only just returned and has important business to attend to. You must excuse us, revered mother. Don't let them detract from your victory at Halam Shiral. We've beaten his wardens and stopped his intrigues. Soon, Corypheus will have no place to hide. Cullen is hoping to press our advantage. We'll plan our next attack when you're ready.
Is there a reply?
In due time. Hold yourself. Nothing? Unfortunate. You cannot imagine how many letters I've received about the fracas at Halam Shiral. Fortunately, you tied twice as many threads as cut, although it is yet bewildering at the center.
There are problems coming out of Halam Shiral.
There are always problems from Halam Shiral. We've lost a few contracts, but more than made up for it. Although, if a few commendations were given, it might retie some severed threads. I couldn't suggest how. That is better decided at your war table, and I'm not going near that thing.
How's it going? Do we have what we need?
With Skyhold shining like a beacon? You name it, it's here or on the way. I've wrung out the slackers, given them what for. I think I like this job.
As you were.
We are here for you, Inquisitor.
Will you not consider it, Lady Cassandra? The clerics are still sequestered. If no one steps forward, they will debate until...
And you think I could make them agree? I've heard enough for one day, Mother Giselle.
Talk to her, your worship.
The fun never ends in Skyhold, does it?
The Inquisitor was hilarious. That's what they'll say one day. You watch. I assume you've heard that Leliana and I are both candidates to be the next Divine. Because of what happened at Halam Shiral, of course, the Empire favors you. Thus, everyone close to you. So now the Chantry bandies our names about without even asking us first.
How can you and Leliana be candidates? You're not even priests.
It's not without precedent. Amar III was sister to the Emperor, and Galatea a commoner. Leliana and I were, at least, part of the Chantry hierarchy. It would be accepted.
If they'll pick non-priests, why am I not a candidate?
Because you're a man, first and foremost. If they name you a candidate, they may as well join the Tevinter Imperium. Truly, though, I imagine it's because they're frightened of you. A weight such as yours would break the Sunburst throne and tear the Chantry to pieces. I just don't know why they believe Leliana or I would be any better.
If you don't want it, then tell them so.
Surely it was never meant to be like this. The Chantry, the Circle of Magi, the Templars, this cannot be what they intended when it all began. The Chantry should provide faith, hope. Instead, it cannot veer from its course, even in the face of certain death.
I'm surprised to hear you, of all people, say that.
Oh? Am I not the same woman who declared the Inquisition against the Chantry's wishes? In all my years as a Seeker, I did what I was told. My faith demanded it. But now my faith demands something else. That I see with better eyes.
The Chantry has failed, Cassandra.
It is disheartening that a believer would say that. Did you know Varric is Andrastian? Oh, he blasphemes with every second breath, but deep down he believes. His heart is virtuous. But he would never step foot in a Chantry. It should be the first place to which the virtuous turn. It needs to change. Perhaps I must be the one to change it.
You're not the only candidate. What about Leliana?
Liliana says she wishes to follow Justinia's legacy. But she and I remember a different person. Justinia knew her fellow clerics and the people would only accept so much change. Liliana would cast it all aside and start over, I think. And that would be chaos for us all.
Perhaps the Chantry needs more than just change.
You mean get rid of it entirely? I disagree. Without the Chantry, the faithful would be lost. The Chantry must simply be more responsible in how it leads. I suppose I should not be so concerned. The clerics speak my name for now, nothing more. For now, restoring order and stopping Corypheus remain our priority. It's always wonderful to speak with you.
That's enough for now.
We shall speak again soon.
Okie dokie.
Thank you.
Inquisitor?
Can you think of any other tasks suitable for the charges?
A few Orlesian nobles didn't like how things ended at the Winter Palace. They're not rebelling outright, but they brought in mercenary companies in preparation. The Charters have a good reputation. If we go in, we can buy the companies out from underneath them. The nobles will lose the men they met for causing trouble, and the Inquisition gets some fresh blood.
We'll talk later.
You know I've got no problem with Orlesians, but Halam Sharal was a mess. At least under the Qun, you don't get everyone tripping on each other's dicks while the country goes to crap.
Corypheus had agents sowing dissent and muddying the waters.
That's just it. Orlais is so vulnerable. If you killed everyone in the Triumvirate, the Qun would survive unchanged. I don't know. The Qun isn't perfect, but it doesn't care what any single person wants. Orlais is full of people who care about nothing else. Good to see you, boss.
See you later, Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss.
You are a special person.
Inquisitor.
So we have few opinions on that.
One for the Emperor, for Gaspard, Briala, the Duchess, and Corypheus, right in the dangle bag.
Well, remind me to stay on your good side.
Don't worry, you're sparkling compared to that lot. A cook here, a footman there. What's it matter, right, so long as there's a book for the throne? A pretty one, sure. But how many lives are worth one empress's arse? Ugh, that place. Should have just thrown in some bees and slammed the doors.
I don't know. You want to stop a party, I think you go earwigs.
I hate those things, with their little pinchy butts. Josephine should add that to her paper threats. You know the real lesson from all this? Never sleep with an empress. That, and Briala being an idiot. The whole thing would have gone different if that little piss-up wasn't in the middle.
That was a mistake on their part. It made everything worse.
Wrong way around, Inquisitor. It started worse. Lots of people died before there was a hole in the sky. That's who you're saving. If you get a chance, maybe remind them not to be idiots.
yeah? Always good.
I'll be back if I need you.
Go on.
I see.
So there's Sarah's opinion on the Harem Sharal Winter Palace
I didn't understand
fiasco.
the Grand Ball. It would have been easier if they said what they wanted.
What did you think of the masks?
What masks?
The masks? Everyone had them on their faces.
Those weren't their faces.
I'll talk to you later.
Yes.
So, you've been hanging out with Three Eyes? He does good work. Nothing compared to Bianca, though. I'd love to build a club, then I wish you luck. The world could probably use a few more smiths that good.
Tell me more about Bianca.
I'm not making any promises here. Ask.
What makes the Merchants Guild such a danger to her?
Well, to be fair, it's more of a danger to me. Technically, we're not supposed to be within 300 leagues of one another. If it got back to the guild that we were seen together, they'd freeze my assets and then have me killed. Maybe not in that order.
What in the world did you do to cause that?
We almost started a clan war. Does it matter? I can't change it now.
How do you know Bianca? The lady, I mean, not the crossbow.
I met her years ago when she still lived in Kirkwall, and I was looking for someone with mechanical skills. Bianca is, beyond a doubt, the most brilliant smith you'll ever meet. I haven't seen her since she got married and moved to Orlais.
Bianca is married. Somehow I thought that the two of you had a history.
Bianca's family are Kaunas. Surface dwarves, so conservative they don't take a piss without asking the ancestors first. They picked out a smith caste boy for her. Wealthy, respected, has a great anvil collection. The perfect husband. I heard the wedding was lovely. The one Bianca actually showed up for, anyway.
All right, tell me the truth. Bianca made your crossbow, didn't she? I mean, it has her name.
It's not that simple. The Carta thinks my Bianca was a freak success by a Carta inventor who could never duplicate it. If they thought anyone else was involved, someone who could make one work, things would be bad. So, I really can't tell the story. I don't want any more blood on my hands.
So how long have the two of you been together?
Well, if you want to split hairs, we're not. Usually there's a continent between us at all times. We write letters. Now and then we manage to meet up. I don't know if that's together. Shit, it's been what, 15 years? Great. Now I feel old. Thanks.
I guess that's it for now.
Sure.
Poor Varric.
I'll be here.
And that's why you can't romance her. I want to judge a box.
First, this wasn't my idea. It is an issue born of titles and heir apparency and... Halam Shiral is having difficulty freeing trade routes formerly controlled by Duchess Florian. Had she been tried, her assets would be forfeit and considerable bureaucracy avoided. So they ask that we judge her.
Are you serious? I did my part. She's dead.
That was the time allotted
Judge
for
the
rebuttal.
box.
Her
Judge
crimes
the
negated
box.
any claim to... Forgive me, there is an odor.
I call for rehabilitation. The skull shall do public theater about the evils of evil. I also judge the box. End table for orphans.
That's quite enough, Inquisitor. Point taken.
I am best judge. The box is judged. There can be no other.
How bracing to be in the thick of the game again. The last time I was at Alam Shiralu was at Countess Letienne's wedding. There were a dozen affairs, 5 secret alliances, and a duel between 2 chevaliers over the vintage of an Antivan port. But until the Duchess was unmasked, I've never seen the Winter Palace in shock.
No one can say the evening wasn't memorable.
They've already begun composing songs about it in Val Royale, no doubt. The game's become increasingly insular in the past 2 years. Corypheus skillfully took advantage. It's disturbing so few people in the Orlesian court were aware of the Duchess's machinations.
You'd think the game's greatest players would spot a murderer in their midst.
As I said, insularity. Familiar rivals become the only ones worth sparring with. But let's not lose sight of victory. Your actions at the ball have secured us allies and favors alike.
That's a different thing.
Insular cliques, snide half-truths, everyone sizing up everyone else. It reminded me of home.
I completely understand the feeling, Inquisitor. Let's hope the next ball either of our families holds is quieter than this one. Shall we? I was hoping you'd be by. We've received letters from Archon Redanus of Tevinter and King Marcus of Nevada. For both monarchs to come to us is nearly unheard of.
I assume that means they both want something very badly from us.
You're quite correct. Archon Redanus requests that the Inquisition, as a neutral party, destroy a venatory cult on the Nevaran-Tevinter border. King Marcus asks the same, but demands we pledge allegiance to Nevara instead of Tevinter.
What course of action would you take if you were in my place?
Strained as their relationship with Orlais is, I would assist the Imperium. Their friendship is difficult to win, and Marcus is a fading power. Tevinter is the longer, richer game.
What sort of man is the King of Navarra?
At this point, elderly. Many fear his health will soon fail him. Still, he is a Pentecast. Their dynasty is exceptionally strong in Nevada.
As a Pentagast, will Cassandra be upset if we don't help her relatives?
With all respect to Sigurd Pentagast, her interest in politics is best described as thin.
Why is the ruler of Tevinter turning on the Venatori?
He has little reason to love them. Archon Redanus has rightly identified Corypheus as competition. Few monarchs relish a self-styled god showing up to claim their throne.
Tell me about Redanus.
Like most Tevinter rulers, he's heir to an ancient bloodline, politically shrewd, and a highly skilled mage. Rumor also claims he has an incredibly soft spot for cats.
I actually have relatives in Navarra. If you reason with the Archon, the Trevellians can persuade King Marcus we should help both countries.
Letting the Inquisition curry favor with both Tevinter and Nevada. Most ideal. A pleasure.
What do the people make of us?
There's scarcely a noble house that hasn't openly pledged its support to us.
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
Van Weigart of Ferenden is visiting. An honor, to be sure. Please show no alarm if you hear shouting in his quarters at night.
Shouting?
His lordship spent a half a year with his lands under siege by Darkspawn during the Ferelden Blight. His wife informs me the band still sleeps rather poorly.
That's sad. Let's get some stuff underway here.
It's time to plan our next attack. What's the state of the Inquisition?
We're well loved in Orlais. Say the words and Empress Celine will send her support.
And your actions at Adamant denied Corypheus his army of pet demons. With Orlay's support, our numbers match his. Corypheus's followers must be panicking.
My agents agree. Our victories have shaken his disciples.
We've beaten their god twice over. Corypheus must be livid. Where is he now?
After you dealt with the Duchess, Corypheus uprooted his major strongholds. He's moving south to the Arbor Wilds. His army clearly wasn't prepared to flee. Our victories have them on the defensive.
Good of Corypheus to make it easy to find him. If he's hiding in the Arbor Wilds, that's where we finish him.
But what is Corypheus doing in such a remote area? His people have been ransacking elven ruins since Haven. We believe he seeks more. What he hopes to find, however, continues to elude us.
Which should surprise no one. Fortunately, I can assist.
I'll ignore that you wandered in without knocking. You have my attention.
What Corypheus seeks in those Forgotten Woods is as ancient as it is dangerous.
Which is?
'Tis best if I show you. This is an Illuvian, an elven artifact from a time long before their empire was lost to human greed. I restored this one at great cost, but another lies within the Arbor Wilds. That is what Corypheus seeks.
You can restore an artifact like this?
There was a price, but one I gladly paid. I found legends of an elven temple within the Arbor Wilds, untouched. It proved too dangerous to approach, and thus I turned elsewhere to find my prize. If Corypheus has turned southward, he could succeed where I failed. The Illuvian would be his.
What does it do?
A more appropriate question would be, where does it lead?
I was not expecting this. I'm actually going to call it right here. We'll get in, talk to her a little bit, and stop, because this is like the next major part of the story, and I don't want that tied in with the game. I want to keep them separate. So once we get in here and are able to save, we're going to call it.
If this place once had a name, it has not been long. I call it the Crossroads, a place where all Illuvians join, wherever they might be.
Is this place dangerous? It feels...
Unnatural, yes. We are, however, in no immediate peril. The ancient elves left no roads, only ruins hidden in far-flung corners. This is how they traveled between. As you can see, most of the mirrors are dark. broken, corrupted, or unusable. As for the rest, a few can be opened from this side, but only a few.
How did you find out about this place?
My travels have led me to many strange destinations, Inquisitor. Once, they led me here.
I have to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
It offered sanctuary.
Sanctuary?
Not all the mirrors lead back to our world. The ancients were nothing if not resourceful.
If they don't lead back to our world, then...
Places between, like this one. I can describe it no better. For a time, I had a respite with the man I loved. For a time, I had a safe place to raise my son. But only for a time. One cannot remain in between forever.
What do you mean, a few can be opened from this side?
Some of the Illuvians have been left unlocked, like doors accidentally left ajar. All others are closed. They can be opened only from beyond.
Opened how?
With a key.
I suppose you have such a key.
The key can be many things. Each Illuvian is different. I have knowledge as well as power. Often that is enough.
This is all very interesting, but why show it to me?
This is not the Fade, but it is very close. Someone with enough power could tear down the ancient barriers.
And enter the Fade in the flesh, like Corypheus wanted to do with the Anchor.
He learned of the Illuvian in the Arbor Wilds as I did. He marshals the last of his forces to reach it. You have made Corypheus desperate, Inquisitor. We must work together to stop him, and soon.
So that's where the Illuvian is.
You're the Inquisitor.
That's the most dangerous child on the planet.
Mother said you were scary.
Some people seem to think I'm the most frightening thing in the world.
Mother says they would think the same about me if they knew.
Kieran, are you bothering the Inquisitor?
Of course not. Did you see what's on his hand, Mother?
I did see. 'Tis time to return to your studies, little man. My son. Never where you expect him to be, naturally.
I didn't know you had a son.
Why would you? I take great pains to not let my own reputation affect him in any way. To most in the Imperial Court, he's simply a quiet and well-spoken lad. Perhaps the heir of some distant family. But he goes where I go. Worry not, Inquisitor. Kieran is a curious boy, but seldom troublesome.
Will his father be joining us as well?
'Twould be most unlikely. His father helped raise Kieran for a time, but events have conspired to take him elsewhere. So 'tis but the two of us, Inquisitor. Your fortress is a large place, and you will scarce notice our presence.
There's something rather unusual about him.
There is. He is a special lad. It falls to me to protect him from anything and anyone that mean him ill. Most of all, he must be protected from myself. No one could harm him more than I. To think, until recently this place stood decrepit, occupied only by the desperate and the lost. Now it is party to events that threaten to shake the world. I wonder if it is pleased.
It sounds like you've heard of Skyhold before.
This fortress was built upon the remains of a site holy to the ancient elves. They called it Tarar Salan, the place where the sky is kept. It is said that from here, they reached up to the heavens to bring them down to rest. They abandoned it, as did the humans who came after them. Bones laid upon bones, silent until your arrival.
We were lucky to have found it when we did.
Fate is often mistaken for luck, as Mother is fond of saying. The magic in this place has seeped into the stones, protecting it from darkness. Those who let it fall to ruin did not know what they possessed. You, I think, shall do it justice. You were kind to welcome my aid, Inquisitor, even knowing as little of me as you do. I will do my best to aid your cause with all the knowledge at my disposal. This I swear to you.
You swear it? That's rather serious.
Some might think Corypheus a madman for seeking godhood. Yet one must ask, what were the old gods? What secrets of theirs did the ancient magisters know? What I fear, what all should fear, is not that Corypheus believes he can succeed. It is that he actually may. Leliana gave me the note that the hero of Ferelden included for me. She may even have left it sealed. A pity. She would have learned things that could make even an Orlesian blush. Now, was there anything else?
You seem to know a great deal about elven law.
The Dalish are not the only ones interested in the distant past, Inquisitor. Indeed, my skills allow me access to places the Dalish dare not even dream of. The ancient elves hold secrets they have not yet given up. Secrets about the foundation of Thedas itself. Thus, they are my focus. Corypheus clearly feels the same.
I'd like to know more about you.
Ah yes, whence comes the mystery woman slinking her way into the Inquisition's ranks? Once I was an apostate, living well away from the banal influence of the Chantry in the Kukari Wilds. Then came the Fifth Blight with its darkspawn, and I left Ferelden for the Empress's court. 'Tis certain the nobles of Orlais breathe a collective sigh of relief that I am now here.
It's odd that an apostate could live so openly.
It confuses those who expect apostates to cower and hide. I stand boldly before them and demand to know why I need some Chantry mage to teach me to control my power. They would put me on a leash so they can feel safer at night. I am uninterested in their comfort. Naturally, it helps to have friends in high places.
The Orlesian court seems like an odd place to find someone like you.
That was the point, originally. I knew the Empress was intrigued by the arcane, and that I could answer questions no Chantry mage could. Thus, we fit together nicely. I became her advisor, and she my benefactor and source of refuge. Truth be told, our arrangement would not have lasted much longer. Too many wagging tongues, even for Celine.
Tell me more about your son.
He is a very special young man.
Special in what way?
In every way. At first, Kieran was a means to an end. But as he grew, I never thought of myself as a mother inquisitor. I had no good example to follow. I find myself becoming something I can barely recognize.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight.
The Blight began in the Kukari Wilds, so yes, I experienced it firsthand. Indeed, I fought at the hero of Ferelden's side for a time. He is the reason the Blight was defeated. We became close. Closer than I even thought possible. When I left, he pursued me. And after that, I came to Orlais. The last place one would look for me, or such was my hope.
I'll leave you to the garden.
As you like.
Alright, so there's Morgan Den. See if we can't find Kieran. There's some people.
Inquisitor.
There is a problem that needs your attention, Inquisitor.
Okay. There's Kieran, he has nothing to say.
Inquisitor, the soldiers say you banished the demons at Adamant and freed the Grey Warden mages. I understand from Sister Leliana that the truth is somewhat more complex, but no less extraordinary. She said that you spoke with a figure in the Fade that seemed to be the soul of divine Justinia. I suspect many of the faithful would like to know what Justinia told you.
She helped me remember what happened at the Conclave. The Maker didn't give me the mark on my hand. I was struck in battle, and Andraste didn't send me. The figure everyone saw was divine Justinia.
I'm so sorry. That must have come as quite a shock.
I don't have time to dwell on it. We have a war to fight.
Then I will save my own ruminations upon faith and belief, and simply pray for your success, Inquisitor. It is wise that you do not let what happened in the Fade spread, however. Some would not understand. Now, is there anything I can help you with?
Farewell, revered mother.
Make her go with you. Your worship.
Can you tell me how our people are doing?
What would you like to know?
How are our forces at Skyhold doing?
We have many injured. The siege of Adamant was brutal for all involved. Even so, more flock to your banner. They have heard that the Inquisition defeated the legendary Grey Wardens. Your soldiers have been blooded, Inquisitor. They are veterans now. An army in more than just name.
Do you have information on people elsewhere?
You have done much for the refugees in the hinterlands. Many who would have starved or frozen owe you their lives. With the rift near Crestwood sealed, the villagers have begun rebuilding their homes and lives. The people in the hills of Emprise de Lyon are safe again, thanks to you. They may even plant crops this season. More than that I cannot say. It is a chaotic time for all in Orlais and Ferelden.
Farewell, revered mother.
Until next time.
No uncertainty for her, and she will know no fear of death. For the Maker shall be her beacon and her shield.
Inquisitor?
The Grey Warden fought bravely, and the great skill of the town of Algamon was saved, and the Wardens themselves few casualties. They await further commands, Commander Colin. The Darkspawn of Algamon have been slain, but it remains unclear whether they brought the creatures to the surface. There is no obvious sign, and I am concerned that they still might pose a danger. Marquise Buffon has made it clear that her wishes that we now depart, which leaves me more suspicious, as most would welcome further help in these dangerous times. The Grey Wardens have volunteered to assist with the investigation of this mystery in whatever capacity the Inquisition deems most fitting. We await your orders, Lieutenant Susan Kloschek. Let the Wardens spread out and scour the area. They'll find out where the Darkspawn are coming from soon enough.
Inquisitor.
Done. Several Grand Duchess Florian
With rifts contained in
peers
the
are
area,
maneuvering to
we can
claim
send
her
in
place
smaller
at court.
groups to offer relief.
I agree. Are you well?
A headache, nothing more.
Or at least try to cannibalize the largest portion of it. Their natures may be such that they are not willing to see her fate as a cautionary tale. They may, however, they may see how high she rose and assume that they will be ever so much smarter when the time comes to face their own inquisitors. They should be reminded of the dangers. You want her head on a pike. I do want her head on a pike. No, that's happening. No, that's a thing. As you see, there is a ton to do, so. Negotiate a deal for weapon plans. Oh my. I recently became aware of the talented and inventive young blacksmith from Anderfels. Once we were introduced through extensive connections, I negotiated a deal to obtain weapon plans for the Inquisition. Unfortunately, I've just now been outbid by a nobleman from Valdorma who maintains a private army. I would hate to lose these designs. Is there anything we can do, Sir Morris, Quartermaster? The Inquisition's needs is greater. Leave this to me. I will have the noblemen persuaded. I could attempt to find compromise. Knowledge can be shared. After all, I'm sure noblemen will see reason.
At your service.
Okay. Busy, busy, busy. Elven ruins. Busy, 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 busy. Busy. Deventer resistance. Help on their terms. Reading Kirkwall. Delicate negotiations. Harvest history. I cannot thank you enough for inviting me as the Inquisition champion to the Grand Melee. You will be glad to hear I did not disgrace you. I placed a respectable 10th, although I did not manage to win us either title or lands. I did several trade agreements with the Bannons for Inquisition. I thought that might please you more than a dank castle, Sir Denor. Yeah, it ain't terrible. What do you got? 46 minutes? He's only got 3. Dun, dun, dun.
Inquisitor?
There are spirits hovering by the veil to observe the thrones of powerful nations, the machinations Betrayals. After our time in Halam Shirao, I understand why. I had forgotten how I missed court intrigue.
You miss court intrigue? When were you at court?
Oh, well, never directly, of course. An elven apostate is rarely invited to speak with empresses and kings. But from the Fade, I have watched dynasties form and empires crumble. It is sometimes savage, sometimes noble, and always fascinating. In any event, Celine should now be a steadfast ally, especially after helping her neutralize Briala.
Am I sensing concern over how we dealt with Brianna?
No. Why would I disapprove of it? Oh, because we're both elves. I'm sorry, I was confused. I do not consider myself to have much in common with the elves.
Nor should you. You're not defined by the shape of your ears. They're not your people.
No, they are not. I joined the Inquisition to save the world.
I mean, he's right. They are
Regardless
not
of
his
who
people.
my people are. This was the best way to help them. As for the elves of Orlais, Briala did what she could. She was an admirable woman, even if her gambit failed.
Even if we couldn't help Brianna, I hope we can make life better for Elysian elves.
Stop Corypheus. That will do for a start. It speaks well of you to feel for the oppressed. Help them for that. Know them for what they are, instead of just seeing a pair of pointed ears. How can I help?
I'd be interested in hearing your opinions on elven culture.
Perhaps you could ask Sarah. She has opinions.
You don't much care for Sarah, do you?
I pity her. Although I imagine she would detest that. Perhaps in truth, I envy her. She has a purity of purpose that I lack. I have observed too much and done too little. What do you wish to know?
I'd like to know more about the elves from before our time.
The Dalish strive to remember Halam Shiral. But Halam Shiral was merely a fumbling attempt to recreate a forgotten land.
Arlathan.
Elvanand was the empire, and Arlathan its greatest city. Place of magic and beauty, lost to time.
You've studied ancient elves. What else do you know of Arlathan?
We hear stories of them living in trees, and imagine wooden ramps or Dalish aeravels. Imagine instead spires of crystal twining through the branches, palaces floating among the clouds. Imagine beings who lived forever, for whom magic was as natural as breathing. That is what was lost.
I'd like to know more about the Dalish elves.
It is a mistake to think of the Dalish as a single group. They have lived as separate clans for centuries now. As a consequence, each clan has learned, interpreted, and forgotten different parts of elven history. Some trade freely with humans, or adopt city elves or flee the alienages. Others attack humans on sight.
What can you tell me about elves living in human cities?
The culture in alienages or among the slaves of Tevinter is like any of the impoverished and powerless. They cling to memories of a better past, and practice a few rituals to distinguish themselves from humans.
Is elven magic different from the magic used by humans?
No and yes. Magic is magic, just as water is water, but it can be used in different ways. Dalish magic is more practical, not needing chantry approval, although they still frown on blood magic. Superstition. Much of it is more subtle. A legacy from when elves were immortal.
Legends of elven immortality. Did they use magic to increase their lifespan?
No. It was simply part of being elven. The subtle beauty of their magic was the effect, not the cause of their nature. Some spells took years to cast. Echoes would linger for centuries, harmonizing with new magic in an unending symphony. It must have been beautiful.
You said that the censure against blood magic was a superstition.
I did. It's fortunate Cassandra is not within earshot. Most modern cultures forbid blood magic. Publicly, even Tevinter disapproves of it. But as I said, magic is magic. It matters only in how it is used.
Every time I've seen blood magic used, it has been for some evil purpose.
I once saw a woman stabbed in the stomach with a dagger. She died slowly, in agony. It was repulsive. If the Chantry outlawed daggers, would that stop people from using them? Of course not. Some would use daggers in secret, shamed, and some would find rebellion titillated, step down the path of depravity.
that we should allow blood magic to be used freely. Works so well for the Imperium.
Devinder's foundation stones are the bones of ancient elves with slave blood for the mortar. It is an example of nothing more than gilded savagery. Pitiable in a way. They always succeed through power, so they have never had the chance to learn another way.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
I knew talking to him would waste enough time to get Colin's thing done. Inquisitor the Grey Wardens scoured the area as requested. Unfortunately, they left them unprepared when mercenaries working for Marquis Buffon attacked by surprise. It appears Marquis Buffon is mining the area in violation of local treaties, which accidentally freed the Darkspawn from beneath the earth. Marquis Buffon has fled into the Gomordan Peaks. The Grey Wardens have taken losses, but their morale remains high, and the loyalty of the Inquisition undisputed. Dang it. We've made progress in Din Hanan,
As ready as they
the Tomb
can
of
be.
Emerald Knights.
You're
The
asking
structure
impossible.
appears more extensive than we had thought. As my keeper was not interested in the endeavor, perhaps the Inquisition might be willing to aid us. I would hate to return home empty-handed. I trust your spirit and cooperation to benefit us both. Besides, it's rather exciting. I imagine the place most pique your curiosity as well, Taven. If you were soldiers and scouting nearby, we can divert them to the elves' location. Done. A few of our soldiers met with the elves in Din Hanan and the elven ruins of the Emerald Graves. Their leader, Taven, wishes to work with us as a sign of cooperation between the Inquisition and his clan. However, some of his party are weary of our presence and the Inquisition's intentions. Our interest in the strengthening our relationships with Dalish would appear more genuine if you met them in person, Colin. Okay. But I want them in a box. Per information gleaned from the wreckage of Adamant Fortress, the Inquisition has leaned to the cache of Grey Warden supplies hidden not far from where they were placed, or where they placed such supplies in aiding fight a large number of Darkspawn. Without reinforcement, the Inquisition could make good use of them, Commander Colin. Did I get the weapons going? I did, okay. And that's complete.
To work?
Yeah, there we go. Those will get done today, those long ones, so that's kind of nice. So I'm going to stop and then go 20 minutes longer with talking to people. It's just part of life. Good time for Dorian.
You have remarkably little here on early Tevinter history. All these gifts to the Inquisition, and the best they can do is the Malefica Imperio. Trite propaganda. But if you want 20 volumes on whether Divine Galatea took a shit on Sunday, this is evidently the place to find it.
If I knew what you were looking for, I could help you.
Ha! You? I rather doubt that. I apologize. That was unworthy. Did I see something by Genitivi here? I could have sworn.
What is this about, Dorian?
What else could it be about? What happened at Adamant, of course. We went into the Fade. Physically went in. Are you... all right?
I learned a surprising amount. What happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, for one?
Regained your memories. That's good, then.
I think so.
You do realize this feat hasn't been performed in over 1,000 years. Corypheus and his contemporaries entered the Fade and began the Blights. In comparison...
So, I should be happy I accomplished something so grand.
Concerned, more like. If you can walk in the Fade, others will try to follow. Who knows what secrets Corypheus has revealed? Not all of them will be as lucky as you. What they could unleash. My advice? Keep this quiet. Let them speculate. Too many will see this as a challenge.
That's a good idea.
There are enough idiots in the world who think if they just use enough blood magic, their problems will vanish. It's exactly the sort of thing I want to stop back home. This I don't need. What I do need is a copy of the Liberalum. I'll wager I can find Corypheus' real name. If I can prove he was a grasping ankle-biter with no family to speak of, the luster would come right off. Wish me luck. Marvelous business, the Winter Palace. You saved an empress, and now she's eating out of your hand. Perfect mental image. All this dancing, politics, and murder makes me a bit homesick.
Happy to oblige. A taste of home just for you.
Not just fun for the whole family.
Perhaps I should have invited some.
We were there. That's what counts. I hope you tried the ham they were serving, by the way. Tasted of despair. It's fascinating.
We got the ham of
Try
despair.
Not to kill anyone without me.
But don't
The
worry,
Inquisitor's
Dorian.
work is never done, I see.
I should go.
As you wish.
How things again, Inquisitor?
I'll leave you to it.
A request has been made of you, Inquisitor. Here it is.
What is your evaluation of how we're doing?
I am able to pursue my duties with optimal efficiency, thanks to Skyhold's present state.
As you were.
Yes, Inquisitor.
Bonus damage against humanoids and Red Templars.
So it's true. Some look to Cassandra or even me as Justinia's successor. I never thought the idea would gain momentum. Of course, with the other candidates out of the picture...
Is becoming divine something you really want?
When Justinia was alive, I would have laughed at anyone who even suggested that I could be her successor. Things have changed. Still, I don't know. Restoring the Chantry will be like trying to steer a sinking vessel through a storm.
No one would fault you for abandoning ship, you know.
Out of the ship and straight into the sea. You think Thedas hates mages now? If the Chantry falls, don't you think the people will blame magic? Look at all that's happened. Kirkwall's Chantry, the war, the breach. Mages are always involved. Without the Chantry to guide, that hatred will spiral out of control.
Wow. You really don't think highly of Thedosians.
The people care only for simple things. Their world is small, and everything beyond it is unknown and something to fear. They will continue to live like this, unless they can be shown another way. But this is a discussion for later. If Corypheus wins, finding a new divine will be the least of our problems.
Come back here.
A message from Divine Justinia.
Dead people usually don't send messages.
And I see you feel it necessary to inform me of this. This message was written months, perhaps even years ago, to be delivered to me if she died. I've heard of such contingency plans. A sudden death often leaves loose ends. I'm to go to Valence, a small village on the waking sea. There is something hidden there.
You know what you're looking for?
The Divine was a powerful woman who used her position to obtain all sorts of things. Whatever she hid in Valence would very likely benefit the Inquisition and must be kept from falling into the wrong hands. If I'm lucky, she will have instructions for me.
You take your instructions from me. What sort of help can a dead divine give you?
I don't know. Perhaps something to do with a chantry. Or it could be personal. She guided me for many years, Inquisitor, as a divine and as a friend. There are days when I still look to her for advice, only to remember that I am alone.
Why hide things in Valence? What's so special about it?
Justinia was revered mother at the chantry there for many years before she became the Divine. It is a place that holds great meaning for her.
I'll help in whatever way I can.
Wonderful. I was hoping you would agree to come with me to Valence. One more thing. If what is hidden in Valence is as valuable as I think, we're not going to be the only ones looking for it. I shall meet you at the chantry in Valence. Try not to delay. Inquisitor?
I'll leave you to your work.
Okay, so now we have Liliana's personal quest. Let's talk to Vivienne here.
Inquisitor, I wonder if you might help me with a delicate situation. There is an alchemical formula that I must complete, but I have been unable to obtain a critical ingredient. The heart of a snowy wyvern. I had arranged to obtain one, but the chevaliers working with me were killed in the Civil War.
If I'm going to hunt down a snowy wyvern, I need you to tell me everything you know about it.
They're quite rare and exceedingly dangerous. Their venom is the most potent of any wyvern. Ordinary hunters would not make the attempt. The risk is too great. You, my dear, would certainly be an equal to this monster.
I didn't know you were an alchemist, Vivienne. What exactly is this project you're working on?
It is a special request from a member of the Council of Heralds. I am still the Imperial Court Enchanter, after all. The matter is private. That is all there is to say.
You want me to risk my life to get this thing for you, but won't tell me what it's for?
My dear, it is hardly proper for me to blab the secrets of those who put trust in my discretion. I would not have attained my position at court if I didn't know when to be silent.
I'm not a hunter. Why do you think I can help?
This beast is not hunted for sport, as other wyverns sometimes are. It is far more deadly. In the past, chevaliers have been dispatched to either kill the creatures or drive them away from villages. Since my chevaliers have fallen to political conflict, I find myself in need of someone with a martial aptitude.
I'll do what I can.
Thank you, my dear. I would be most grateful. I shall give the location of its lair to Cullen. Remember, my dear, I must have its heart or the potion will not work. I eagerly await your success.
Yes?
Okay. Very much like to go talk to Colin. But as you can see, I can't get up the dang steps. Dang it. There's the alluvion.
Many are those who wander in sin, despairing that they are lost forever. But the one who repents, who has faith unshaken by the darkness of the world, and boasts not nor gloats over the misfortunes of the weak, but takes delight in the Maker's law and creations, she shall know.
Inquisitor?
Yo. So talk to everyone I want to except one. We're going to go talk to him right now.
I wondered why all Skyhold seemed suddenly brighter.
What's been going on?
Ambassador Montelier sent me a basket of flowers to thank me for my work with the Inquisition. She's so lovely.
I have to go.
And what does Sir Colin have to say?
I wanted to thank you. When you came to see me, if there's anything... This sounded much better in my head.
I trust you're feeling better?
Yes.
Is it always that bad?
The pain comes and goes. Sometimes I feel as if I'm back there. I should not have pushed myself so far that day.
Skyhold won't fall apart if you take an hour for yourself now and then.
I'll keep that in mind. I've never told anyone what truly happened to me in Ferelden's circle. I was not myself after that. I was angry. For years, that anger blinded me. I'm not proud of the man that made me. Now I can put some distance between myself and everything that happened. It's a start.
The past isn't always pleasant. Sometimes you have to let go and move on.
I can't forget what happened, but it led me here. I can make that mean something. Anyway, I meant to thank you, not trouble you further. You've enough to worry about. How are you holding up?
I've met good people here. Knowing they have my back, it helps.
You certainly keep interesting company. I suppose I do as well.
So it was this way. So if there's an axe there, that's really scary.
I'd be perfectly happy never again setting foot in the Winter Palace. It wasn't the gossip and backstabbing, I know what the game entails, and the indifference to it all.
Showing interest reveals weakness. Something nobles are quick to exploit.
No doubt you're right. In Chantry can be the same. Their politics are less extravagant, but just as heated. The Empress rules a country. The Divine influences half a continent.
May I ask you something?
Of course.
Do you think Templars should cease to exist?
No. I may have chosen to lead that life, but I respect those who remain. Magic ungoverned could tear the world apart. It's doing so now. Templars are trained and able to confront such dangers.
What would you suggest?
Some call the Circle a prison that can only breed resentment. Perhaps opportunities to work outside the Circle. A mixed military service or healers' clinics with Templar support. And there must be a safer way for Templars to leave. Templars can lose their memories to Lyrium. Some call it a gift, to forget the failed harrowings, the demons. Some atrocities haunt me still. But to lose what good I can recall, I nearly lost my mind once. It is no gift.
Do you think that could work? Would people accept it?
Mages would be watched, but could pursue interests outside the Circle. Neither freedom nor prison. I don't know.
You still regret the man you became after leaving Ferelden?
After the Ferelden Circle, I thought all mages were like the ones there. Knight Commander Meredith's methods were harsh, but they kept people safe.
You've said Meredith was unstable.
She was my Knight Commander. I had no reason to distrust her. She wasn't wrong about the Blood Mages and Code. Meredith encouraged my anger towards the mages. There was only so far it would go, and she knew that too. I was her second in command. She kept decisions from me, those I would question. I believed she was serving the city. I never thought to question her, not until it was too late.
I hope you find the Inquisition's leadership more agreeable.
I am confident you will see us through to the end. The Inquisition is my chance to atone. I will not see it fail.
You've mentioned siblings. With everything that's happening, do you know if they're all right?
I've received word from my eldest sister. She was always good at tracking me down. South Reach has experienced the same chaos as everywhere else. My family is fine. Pray they remain so.
Your sister tracked you down. She didn't know where you were.
I let her know I was in Haven. She assumed I survived. It's not the first time. I may have neglected to tell her when I was transferred to Kirkwall.
Why?
I wasn't in a good state. I wanted only to leave. I received an angry letter about my disappearance 2 years later. For all her reprimands, it was a relief to hear from someone who knew me before the Blight.
The Inquisition won't last forever. What will you do when this is over?
To be honest, I hadn't given it much thought until recently. I'm not used to having so many possibilities.
That's all I wanted to know.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend. Did you need something?
That's all for now.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
Know what it was like. The colors, the smells, the magic. I'm sorry, it's just so exciting. You went into the Fade. If you have time, Inquisitor, do tell.
You seemed excited that I fell into the Faded Adamant.
Excited? Spring gets me excited. This is a wonder. It's probably hard to relate, but dwarves don't dream, so I can't even guess what it's like. I can't even understand what dreams are. But you were there, and came back. Can I take a sample?
A sample?
Oh, that sounded sinister. I meant, can I cut a little piece off of you and do things to it? That didn't sound better, did it?
I have to say, Dagna, this is strange.
You don't have to tell me. All the rules are breaking. And I've broken plenty, so I know. Your people cleaned you up after your fall. I wonder if anything is left. So much to think about. Mind your step for things, Inquisitor.
I'll see you later, Dagna.
I can't wait.
Inquisitor.
I'll be back later.
I'll be here.
Alright, we're 71 hours into this playthrough. I'm gonna go get some lunch, I'm hungry. When we come back, I'll probably be forging my weapons, my armor, stuff like that. We're looking at 14,000, and we have 76 things to give away. Let's go ahead and sell some stuff. Let's see what it looks like after we sell some stuff here. Sell. There we go. Now we'll save. Now we'll call it here. Now I've got everything sold off. Well, yeah. So, until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for talking. It was a fun stream. Should be back later today. If not, definitely a lot of streaming tomorrow. So, because it's supposed to rain. So, till then, talk to y'all later. So long, everybody. Save one more time here, just cause. And we'll call it. So, bye-bye.